Greetings! Mandatory79 here, and welcome back to another deck profile video for Cardfight Vanguard Deer Days! Alright, let's get started. Pressing the A button now.
Cardfight Vanguard D-BT06
Loading game and proceeding. Here we are in the main menu, going to edit deck menu. And now in today's video, the deck profile I'm making one for is a Brandt Gates, Galactic B-Hero Unite Dianos D-BT06. Okie dokie, first let's go to this empty slot here, going to create new deck, entering create new deck, selecting the nation I'm gonna building the Brandt Gate nation, and here we are. And like I just mentioned before, the deck I'm building today's deck profile video is a Brandt Gates, Galactic B-Hero Unite Dianos deck made up of cards only available up until D-BT06. So first let's go to the filter settings and to pack, show only cards from D-BT1, Genesis of the 5 Greats, D-BT2, A Brush of the Legends, D-BT3, Advance of Intertwined Stars, D-BT4, Awakening of Chakrabarti, D-BT5, Triumphant Return of Brave Heroes, Festival Collection 2021, Festival Collection 2022, Promo Pack number 1, and last but not least, the D-BT6 Blazing Dragon Reborn. Applying filter. And now let's first start with the grade 3 lineup. For the grade 3 deck we're using, Ride Deck, grade 3, Galactic B-Hero Unite Dianos, skills for skill, continuous as a Vanguard. All of your front row rear guards with B-Hero in their card names get plus 5,000 power, active on opponent's turn 2. And second skill, auto as a Vanguard. When this unit attacks, if your order zone has a base cost, counterblast 1. If the cost has been paid, and until end of the battle, this unit gets plus 15,000 power, and if your order zone has 3 or more bases, this unit gets plus 1 critical. So for Unite Dianos, he's the main grade 3 to ride his deck. The first skill, just by dealing your Vanguard, all of your front row rear guards with B-Hero get plus 5,000 power. And the best part is it's also active on your opponent's turn 2, so ideally this first skill, all of your B-Hero rear guards become powerful attackers and have the better chance of surviving on your opponent's turn, since the increased power make it harder for them to attack your rear guards. Any second skill, when you attack with your Vanguard Unite Dianos, as long as the cost and conditions have been met, not only can you turn your Vanguard Dianos into a potential 28,000 point attacker, but you also have the chance to pressure or finish them off with the increased plus 1 critical. Alrighty, then the grade 3 Galactic B-Hero Unite Dianos, we're putting 4 into the deck. Hold on, craft 2 more, craft 1, and craft 2. And putting 4 into the deck, and 1 into the right deck. And the grade 3 lineup is done. Next up, let's get on to the grade 2 lineup. For the grade 2s of this deck, we're playing the grade 2 here, Ride Deck, grade 2, Galactic B-Hero, Wired Clothin, skills for skill, action is a Vanguard, once per turn, cost, scout a card with B-Hero in its card name from your hand to your base. If the cost is paid, draw a card. Scouted cards are put face up onto the order zone. And second skill, auto is a rear guard once per turn. When this unit is moved to another rear guard circle during your battle phase, this unit gets plus 5,000 power until end of turn. Then for Wired Clothin, he's the main grade 2 to ride his deck. If it's skill, the first skill, by just like paying the cost, you'll be able to draw a card. So this first skill is a good way to not only more or less put B-Hero rear guards or put B-Hero cards in your hand into your base, but to also increase your hand size by drawing 1. Any second skill, as long as you meet the conditions, your Wired Clothin can serve as a potential 15,000 point attacker all in zone. Alrighty, then the grade 2 Galactic B-Hero Wired Clothin, we're putting 4 into the deck and 1 into the right deck. That should do it. Next up, we're putting in the grade 2. Next, we're putting in grade 2s here. The grade 2, aiding monster, Tech 10, skill, auto. When this card is discarded from your hand during your turn, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to one set order from among them, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. So for Tech 10, he's a pretty powerful card to play in your Brandt Nation decks. For its skill, just by discarding him from your hand during your turn, you have the chance to secure another set order to use in your hand later. Okie dokie, the grade 2, aiding monster Tech 10, we're putting 2 into the deck, 2 is more than enough. Next up, the grade 2, Galactic B Hero, Rampart Aspida, skills for skill, auto. When this card is scouted, costs soul charge 1. Activates when it is scouted and put in the order zone. Second skill, continuous as a guardian. If your order zone has a base, if you have a Vanguard B Hero in its card name, this unit gets plus 10,000 shield. So for Rampart Aspida, it's another support card for the Unite Dianos deck. With its skill, the first skill, just by scouting this card, you'll be able to build up your soul for later Soul Blast. And the second skill, as long as the conditions are met, your Rampart Aspida can serve as a potential 15,000 point guard or 15,000 point intercept on its own. Alrighty, then the grade 2 Galactic B Hero, Rampart Aspida, we're putting 4 into the deck, 4 is fine. And then next we're putting in the grade 2 Galactic B Hero, Latin Suppry, skill for skill, auto. When this unit is placed on the rear guard circle, cost counterblast 1. If the cost is paid, choose one of your opponent's front row rear guards in the same column as this unit and retire it. Second skill, continuous as a rear guard. During your turn, if your order zone has a base, this unit gets plus 5,000 power. So for Flatten Suffrey, she's another support card for the Unite Dianos deck with the first skill. Just by calling her to the rear guard and paying a cost, you can clear your opponent's field of rear guards. And the second skill, as long as the conditions are met, your Flatten Suffrey can serve as a potential 15,000 point attacker all on her own. Alrighty, then the grade 2 Galactic B Hero, Flatten Suffrey, we're putting 4 into the deck, 4 is fine. And then next we're putting in the grade 2 set order base Galactic base A.E.G.I.S, skill for skill, order. After a set order is played, put into your order zone. Second skill, auto. When this card is put into your order zone, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 3 cards of B Hero in its card name from among them, reveal it, put up to 1 card from among them into your hand, and scout up to 2 cards from among them onto your base and shuffle your deck. And the third skill, action is from the order zone. Cost, rest this card and discard a card from hand. If the cost is paid, choose one of your scouted cards of grade less than or equal to your Vanguard and call to rear guard. And then the fourth skill, auto from the order zone. When your unit is attacked, cost, soul blast 1 and rest this card. If the cost is paid, choose one of your scouted cards and call to Guardian Circle. And so for the Galactic base A.E.G.I.S, it's one of the main set orders to play in your Unite Dianos deck for the second skill. Just by placing this order card into your order zone, you have the chance to secure yourself a B Hero to put into your hand and 2 to put into your base to later use for a later game strategy. And the third skill, by paying the cost, you'll be able to superior call a scouted card from your base to your rear guard, securing you more attackers or boosters depending on what you call. And then the fourth skill, during your opponent's turn, whenever you're attacked, as long as you're willing to pay the cost, you'll be able to secure yourself more defensive options by calling scouted cards from the base to the Guardian Circle. Okie dokie, then the grade 2 Galactic base A.E.G.I.S, we're putting 4 into the deck, 4 is good. And with that, I think we just about covered the deck's grade 2 lineup. Now it's time to go to the grade 1 lineup. For the grade 1 lineup of this deck we're playing, first, the right deck, grade 1, Galactic B Hero, Architect Pasil, skill for skill, auto. When this unit is placed on the Vanguard circle, search your deck for up to 1 base card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. And the second skill, continuous as a rear guard. During the battle, this unit boosted a unit with B Hero in its card name. This unit gets plus 5,000 power. So for Architect Pasil, he's the main grade 1 to run his deck. The first skill, just by riding Pasil onto the Vanguard, you can secure yourself a base card to later deploy into your order zone. And the second skill, as long as the conditions are met, your Architect Pasil can serve as a potential 13,000 point booster all on his own. Alrighty, then the grade 1 Galactic B Hero, Architect Pasil. We're putting 1 into the deck and 1 into the right deck. That's enough. Then next up, we're putting in the Grade 1. Here, the Grade 1 Galactic B Hero, Direct 4L, Skill, Auto. From the back row, center, rearguard circles. At the end of battle, your Grade 3 Vanguard B Hero in its card name attacked. Cost, Soul Blast 1 and rest this unit. If the cost and paid, choose 2 of your rear guards in the same column as each other and swap their positions. So for Direct 4L, another support card for the Unite Dianos deck for skill, as long as you secure her in the center back row rearguard circle, as long as the conditions are met and the cost and paid, you can swap your rear guards in the same columns, giving you potentially more attacks to either pressure or finish off your opponent with. And so for the Grade 1 Galactic B Hero Direct 4L, we're putting, hold on, just craft one more. Here we are, we have 4, and we're putting Direct 4L into deck, putting 4 into the deck. 4 is good. Next up, the Grade 1 Planet Wall Dragon Sentinel Perfect Guard. Skills for skill, Continuous Sentinel. You may have only up to 4 cards of Continuous Sentinel deck. Second skill, Auto. When this unit is put in the Guardian Circle, choose one of your units and it cannot be hit until end of battle. If your hand has 2 more cards, choose a card from hand, discard it. So for Planet Wall Dragon, it's a perfect guard for the Brandt Gate Nation. Like any other perfect guard in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, he features the same skill and activation. When used to guard with and discarding a card from your hand, you can block one enemy attack. But he also features an ability unique to all these stand-up perfect guards. When used to guard with while you have less than 2 cards in hand, you will not have to pay the usual discard 1 cost, making Planet Wall a potential no-cost perfect guard in desperate last resort situations. And okie dokie, the Grade 1 Planet Wall Dragon, we're putting 3 into the deck. 3 is fine. And next, we're putting in the Grade 1 Blitz Order Elementaria Sanctitude, Skill, Sentinel Perfect Guard. Skills for skill, Continuous Sentinel. You may only have up to 4 cards of Continuous Sentinel deck. Second skill, Continuous. You may only have up to 1 Elementaria Sanctitude in your deck. And the third skill, Order. If your opponent's Vanguard's triple drive, this ability can be played without paying the cost. Place if a cost of, discard a card from your hand. If the cost has been paid, if your Vanguard is Grade 3 or less, choose one of your units and it cannot be hit until end of battle. Remove this card. So for Elementaria Sanctitude, it's the Blitz Order version of the Perfect Guard. Like any other Perfect Guard in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, it features the same skill and activation. When this card is played, and by paying the cost of discard a card from your hand, you can block one enemy attack. But ideally, Elementaria Sanctitude is a potential no-cost perfect guard against opponents who play Vanguards of triple drive. So if you're up against an opponent who plays a Grade 4 or at least a Vanguard that increases their drive check by 1, this Elementaria Sanctitude can serve as a no-cost perfect guard against such opponents. So for the Grade 1 Blitz Order Elementaria Sanctitude, we're putting 1 into the deck. There we go. Then next up, we're putting in the Grade 1... Here, the Grade 1 Capable Helper Skill Auto. When this unit is placed on the rearguard circle, cost Soul Blast 1. If the cost is paid, choose a card of B Hero and its card name from your drop zone, scout it onto your base. Scouted cards are put face up on the order zone. Super Capable Helper, he's a support card for the Unite Dianos deck. If it's skill, just by calling to the rearguard and paying the cost, you'll be able to secure more B Heroes onto your base to later use for a later game strategy. Alrighty then, the Grade 1 Capable Helper, we're putting 2 into the deck. 2 is enough. And with that, we're just about done with the Grade 1 lineup. And now for the Grade 0 lineup. For the Grade 0s of this deck, we're playing the Grade 0. Grade 0 here. Right deck, Grade 0, Galactic B Hero, purely Agno, skill, auto. When this unit is rolled upon, if you went second, draw a card. Super purely Agno, it's the starting unit of this deck. Like any other starting unit in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game D standard format, it features the same skill and activation. When we're in the top of, if you're the second to go, draw a card. So for purely Agno, we're putting 1 into the deck and putting into the right deck. There we go. And the Grade 0 lineup is done. Now let's get on to the trigger lineup. For the triggers of this deck, we're playing the Grade 0 Patrol Robo, Decker Cup, critical trigger, skill, auto as a regard. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted. Cost, put this unit into your soul. If the cost is paid, choose one of your units and it gets plus 2,000 power at the end of turn. So for Decker Cup, it's a powerful critical trigger to play in your Brandt Nation decks with skill after boosting the attack, regardless if the attack hits or not. As long as you don't mind moving Decker Cup from your rear guard into your soul, not only can you build up your soul for later soul blast, but to also give your remaining attackers in the field, Vanguard or rear guard, a little extra power to work with. And okay, the grade 0 Patrol Robo Decker Cup critical trigger, we're putting 4 into the deck. 4 is fine. And then the grade 0 Star Aggression Dragon critical trigger, we're putting 3 into the deck. 3 is fine. Next up, we're putting in the grade 0 Ameliorate Connector draw trigger, skill continuous as a guardian. If your opponent's Vanguard's grade 3 or greater, this unit gets plus 5,000 shield. And so for the Ameliorate Connector, it's a powerful draw trigger to play in your Brandt Nation decks if it's skill. When used to guard with while the conditions are met, your Ameliorate Connector can serve as a potential 10,000 point shield on its own. Okie dokie, the grade 0 Ameliorate Connector, we're putting 4 into the deck. 4 is good. And now we're gonna put up is next, we're putting in the grade 0 Lady Healer of the Creaking World, heal trigger, skill, auto. When this unit is placed on the Guardian Circle, if your opponent's attacking unit is attacked 2 or more times this turn, this unit gets plus 15,000 shield until end of battle. Active if this battle is its second attack this turn or more. So for the Lady Healer of the Creaking World, she's a powerful heal trigger to play in your Brandt Nation decks. With her skill, when used to guard with while the conditions are met, she can serve as a potential 25,000 point shield on her own. Ideally, Lady Healer of the Creaking World is a counter heal meant to be played against opponents who play decks that specialize in restanding and attacking multiple times to their units, either their rear guard or Vanguard. And affirmative for putting Lady Healer in the Creaking World, at least 2 should be enough. Yep, 2 is fine. And then next up, the grade 0 Whistling Arrow Recursion Upper Full heal trigger, skill, auto. When this unit is put in the Guardian Circle, if the attacking unit's critical is 2 or greater, and its critical is increased by a non-trigger effect ability, or its critical is 2 or its original critical is 2 or greater, this unit gets plus 15,000 shield until end of battle. And alright, then the grade 0 Alphafold is a powerful heal trigger to play in your Brandt Nation decks if it's skill. When used to guard with while the conditions are met, Alphafold can serve as a potential 25,000 point shield on its own. Ideally, Alphafold is a counter heal best played against opponents who play decks that specialize in increasing their attacking units critical by card effect, not by trigger. Alrighty, we're done then putting 2 Alphafolds in the deck. And now, last but not least, we're putting in the grade 0 Star Dragon D Deep Infinitude Elder Breath over trigger, skill, trigger, additional effect. Double the power and critical of all of your front row units until end of turn. Increase the double power and critical when activated. So the grade 0 Elder Breath over trigger, it's a over trigger for the Brandt Nation. Like any other over trigger in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, he features the same skill and activation. When revealed during a drive check or damage check, you get 100 million power and draw a card. But he also features an ability unique to him alone. When revealed during a drive check on your turn, for the rest of that turn, all of your front row units, Vanguard and rear guard included, get their power and critical double. Ideally, Elder Breath is a powerful over trigger that's best revealed late in the game on the perfect time. So if you're lucky enough to reveal it on your drive check during your turn, it'll be easier to either pressure or finish off the opponent with the increased power and critical to your front row. And for the grade 0 Star Dragon D Deep Infinitude Elder Breath over trigger, we're putting 1 into the deck. And with that, the deck's been built. Cards explained. Let's just save the deck. Deck saved. And for the cards in this deck we're playing, 4 grade 3 Galactic B Hero Unite Dianos. 2 grade 2 Aiding Monster Tech Tien. 4 grade 2 Galactic B Hero Rampart Espida. 4 grade 2 Galactic B Hero Flattened Suffrey. 4, Grade 2, Galactic B Hero, Wild Closton. 4, Grade 2, Set Order, Base, Galactic Base A.E.G.I.S. 4, Grade 1, Galactic B Hero, Direct Foriel. 3, Grade 1, Planet Wall Dragon. 1, Grade 1, Elementaria Sanctitude. 1, Grade 1, Galactic B Hero, Architect Facile. And 2, Grade 1, Capable Helper. And 1, Grade 0, Galactic B Hero, Purely Acno, Starter Unit. Then next, the trigger lineup of this deck. The triggers we're playing in this deck are 7 critical triggers, 4 draw triggers, 4 heal triggers, and 1 over trigger, Elder Breath. And deck built, cards explained. Before we test out the deck, let's just change the deck's name. Rename deck. The deck's name is Dianos, D-Y-A-N-O-S, Dianos. And save, is that the correct name? Dianos, D-I-A-N-O-S, yep, that's correct. Next, let's change deck sleeves, and for the main deck sleeves, we're using the Brandt Gate Nation sleeve as the main deck sleeve, pressing A, and for the right deck sleeve, we're using this white Vanguard color sleeve, pressing Y. And with that, the deck's been built, cards explained, deck renamed, and card sleeve changed. Now it's time to test out the deck, so let's leave the edit deck menu and return to the main menu, off to the fight menu to CPU fight, and selecting the deck I just built, the Brandt Gate Galactic B Hero Unite Dianos D-Booster 6 deck. Selecting deck and choosing opponent. For the opponent I'm gonna test it out on, I'm using it against Megumi Okura, normal difficulty. And the battle begins. Let's get started. Here we are in the fight. Deciding who goes first, and a rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Paper to scissors, I lose, going second. Now my opponent's gonna go first. Hold on, let's just go to the starting hand. I got a grade 2, 2 grade 1s, and 2 criticals. Gonna hold on to the normal units. Just gonna return the trigger units, redraw. Not too bad. Now my opponent's going first. She rides the grade 1, Sylvanhorn Beast Karis. End of her turn, my turn, I draw. I ride from the right deck, Galactic B Hero, Architect Facile. For the right deck cards, I'm discarding. I discard, aiding Monster Tech 10 to use its skill. Discard Tech 10, and ride Facile. Purely Acno skill, draw a card. Draw 1, draw. And then Facile skill. Search my deck for a base, adding 1. And then Tech 10 skill. Search the top 5 cards of my deck for a set order, and nothing here, so shuffle back. And next, I'm gonna call to the rear guards. Tough choice. I think I'm just gonna call 2 direct Forials to the rear guard, 1 and 2. That should be enough. On to battle phase. My rear guard Foriel attacks the Vanguard, 8,000. The attack goes through and zap! 1 damage, damage check. No trigger, safe. And 1 less card to Persona Rite with, 1 less card to worry about. Now boosted by direct Foriel, my Facile attacks the Vanguard, 60,000 power. The attack goes through, drive check. No trigger, perfect guard, not too bad. 1 damage to my opponent. Boom! Damage check. Heal trigger, come on! Limited to 1 damage and trigger effect added. That's the end of my turn. My opponent's turn. My opponent rides the grade 2 Lattice. Here is his skill. Look at the top part of the deck. A grade 3. Come on. How lucky can she get? First a heal trigger and now a grade 3. And calling grade 2 Gnosia and Leoka. Leoka attacks the Vanguard. Gonna let it go through. No guard. Ow. Damage check. No trigger. Grade 1. Now here comes Vanguard to Vanguard. 10,000, 8,000. No guard, can take the attack. Drive check. Ah, come on. Draw trigger. Power to rear guard, so 1 damage to me. Ow. Damage check. Yes, heal trigger. I heal 1 damage, heal, and give power to my Vanguard. Healing. Power added. Rear guard to Vanguard. I don't have enough cards to guard, just let it go through again. No guard. Ow! Damage check. No trigger. Ah, no, not a Persona, right? Come on. End of my opponent's turn. My turn. Stand and draw. I write from the right deck. Galactic B-Hero Wired Clawstein. For the right deck cost, I'm discarding 1 Galactic Beast Aegis. Discard and write. And then I set order, Galactic Base Aegis to the order zone, set, deployed, and Aegis skill. I look at the top 7 cards in my deck for 3 B heroes. There are 1, 2, 3, only 3. I'm going to reveal 1, 2, and 3. Revealed, and 1 goes to the hands. I'm going to move Boreal to my hand. The rest goes to the order zone, I guess. So Wired Clawstein and Flattened Suffery to the order zone. Then I'm going to I activate my Vanguard skill, Wired Clawstein. I move 1 card from my hand to the order zone. I'm moving Rampart Aspida to the base and drawing 1 card. Draw. Another set order, not too bad. Rampart Aspida skill, when scouted, Soul Charge 1, Soul Charge. And I'm going to move Direct Forial to the back row and going to call to the rear guard. Flattened Suffery. Yep, calling Flattened Suffery to the rear guard. Hold on, let me just check my... I only have 1 B hero, and I don't have any cards to Soul Blast with. The orders let me Stress and Superior Call 1. Okay, I know what to do. First, I'm gonna call Flattened Suffery to the rear guard, calling over here. Here, call. Skill of Suffery, Counterblast 1, Counterblast. Retire 1 rear guard, retire that one in the same column. Then activate the base's skill, rest it, rest, and discard 1. I'm discarding Direct Forial, discard, and Superior Call up to 1 B hero that's in my order zone to the rear guard. I'm calling Flattened Suffery to the rear guard. Call. And power added. Do I use Suffery's skill? Do I have any requirements for counter blasting? Just for my Vanguard, but still early in the game, so... yeah, I'm just gonna pay the skill, counter blast 1, counter blast, retire 1 more rear guard, retire Leoka. And that's all from my main phase. It's time to go to the battle phase. My rear guard Suffery attacks the Vanguard. 15k. Bash. 1 damage. Damage check. No trigger. Perfect guard. 1 less card to worry about. Now boosted by Foriel. My Vanguard attacks the Vanguard. 18k to 10k. The attack goes through, drive check. Yes! Draw trigger! I draw a card, a critical. Not bad, I guess I can at least defend, so giving power to the remaining Suffrey, 10,000 power. And slash, 1 damage, damage check. No trigger, grade 3, safe. Now boosted by Foriel, my rearguard Suffrey in the right attacks the Vanguard, 32,000 power. The attack goes through and bash, 1 damage, damage check. Yes, front trigger, he wasted a trigger. Trigger effect wasted, and end of my turn, my opponent's turn. My opponent's gonna ride to the grade 3. Sylvanhorn, Beast King, Magnolia, Skill of Lattice, look at the top card of the deck, and yes, a trigger, Superior Call, lost another trigger. He calls Genoslia and Daminaru. Daminaru's skill. The draw trigger gains the power to attack from the back row and can get some power, calling to the rear guard Gabrick. Magnolia to the Vanguard. 22k, no guard, gonna take it. Twin drive, first check. No trigger, grade 2, safe, and the second check. Ah, come on, another heal trigger? How can she be so lucky? Power the rear guard, and 1 damage to me. Here it comes. Ow! Damage check. Over trigger, huh. Tough choice. I guess I'll give it all to my Vanguard. Magnolia skill. The remain 1 back row rear guard can attack. Genoslia attacking the rear guard. And power the rear guard. Might as well, just let the attack go through. Skill of Gabrick, more power, but nothing can get through in this turn, so just let him retire my rear guards, I guess. Sorry. Suffrey. Another Suffrey's targeted. Sorry, you're gonna have to take the hit. Again, really sorry, Suffrey. Nothing left. End of my opponent's turn. My turn. Stand and draw. It's time to ride from the right deck. Grade 3, Galactic B-Hero, Unite Dianos. For the right deck cost, I'm discarding a draw trigger, a melee connector, discard, and riding Galactic B-Hero, Unite Dianos. Deploy set order, Galactic base A.E.G.I.S. Deploy. Skill of A.E.G.I.S. Look at the top 7 cards in my deck for up to 3 Galactic B heroes, and only 1, huh? Reveal 1 and revealed. Add it to hand. Shuffle the deck. Now I'm going to call to the rear guard. Hold on, I got. When this card's placed in the rear guard, discard Soul Blast 1 and shoots a B here from drop, put in the base. I call Capable Helper to the rear guard, calling over here. Yep, calling here. Helper skill, Soul Blast 1. I Soul Blast 1. Soul Blasting Architect Facile. Soul Blast, and 1 B hero from the drop zone gets scouted. I move Suffrey to the order zone. Then I'm activating the base skill. Rest it. Discard a card. I'm discarding 1 critical trigger. Discard and call from the base. I'm calling. I guess I'll call Flatten Suffrey. Yep, calling Flatten Suffrey to the rear guard over here. Calling, power added. And from my hand, I'm calling Rampart Aspida. Call. Formation set. And that's the end of my main phase. On to battle phase. First up, boosted by Capable Helper. Rampart Aspida attacks the Vanguard, 23k. Heal trigger, 28k, attack blocked. Now, boosted by, hold on. Nope, first I'm gonna attack with Flatten Suffrey, unboosted to the Vanguard, 20,000. The attack goes through and bash, 1 damage, damage check. No trigger, safe. Now my Vanguard Unite Dianos attacks the Vanguard, unboosted, 13k. Double guard for 23k. Intercept, 28k. 2 to pass. First check. Heal trigger. I heal, cannot heal. I'll give the power to, let's see, direct fourier lets me switch the column positions. Then, yep, I'm gonna switch direct fourier. Just gonna give the power to direct fourier. Second check. No trigger, so the attack does not go through. Now here comes direct fourier skill. Soul Blast 1, Soul Blast, Rester, Rest, switch one column, switching, just switching one, switch, and there we go, power added. Now direct fourier attacks the rear guard Daminaru, 23k. The attack goes through and zap. 1 damage. Nope. 1 rear guard down. 1 less to worry about. End of my turn. My opponent's turn. No! Persona Ride! Come on! Persona Riding. Draw at power. Calling a rear guard. Vanguard to Vanguard. 27k. Nope. Not gonna activate base's skill. Let the attack go through. No guard. Drive check. No trigger. And second check. No trigger, perfect guard, not good. 1 damage to me. Here it comes. Ow! Damage check. Critical trigger, huh. I give all effects to... I guess I'll give it all to... Rampart Aspida. Gotta get more counterblasts out. Here comes Magnolia's skill. A rear guard in the back row can attack. Ganoza to the Vanguard. And Lemur's skill, more power. Ganoza, more power to Lemur. I'm just gonna not activate the basic skill, just gonna guard this attack with a heal trigger. Guard, 23k, just enough. And ka-chink, safe. Here comes Lemur, 40,000 power. No guard, gonna take it. Take it. Ow! Damage check. No trigger, a base, so that's the end of my opponent's turn. It's my turn. Stand and draw. I Persona Ride, Unite Dianos, Persona Ride. Draw a card, power added, and in my order zone I have 2 cards, Wired Cleston and Rampart Aspida. Okie dokie. First I'm going to call to the rear guard. Capable Helper, calling. Helper's skill. Soul Blast 1, Soul Blast. Search my drop zone for a B card to scout. I'm scouting a Flatten Suffrey. Yep, scouting Flatten Suffrey, and then I'm activating the base's skill. Rest, discard 1, discarding a critical, discard. Superior Call, a scouted card. I Superior Call Galactic B Hero, Wired Closton over here, over this guy, calling. And I think that should be enough, so... Yep, I think that's enough. And on to the battle phase. My rear guard, Direct Fouriel, attacks the Vanguard for 23k. The attack goes through and zap! 1 damage, damage check. Draw trigger, come on! Power the Vanguard. Now Rampart Aspida attacks the Vanguard, 25k. Guards are perfect guard, discarding for the cost A. Grade 2, Daminaru, the attack fails. Here comes Unite Dianos. Unboosted attacks the Vanguard, 23k. Dianos' skill, Counter Blast 1, Counter Blast.
これが今の私の全て
And adding at least 15,000 power to the Vanguard, 38k. Another Perfect Guard, no cost.
スキル発動完全ガード
Then Twin Drive, first check. Yes! Critical trigger! I give all effects to Wire Closting. Yep, to Wire
プラ
Closting.
スパワープラス
And second check. No trigger, so the attack fails. Now I'm activating my direct 4-reel skill after the attack of my grade 3 Vanguard. Soul Blast 1, Soul Blast, rest herself,
スキ
rest.
ル発動
Switch the positions of 2 rear guards. 1 and I can only switch 1 column, so switching 1. And activating Wire Closting skill plus 5,000 power.
パワープラス
Now 40k to the Vanguard, 2 criticals, the attack goes through, and slash! 2 damage first, no trigger, 6 damage, I win.
やった
Huh, not too bad. I more or less got to use the cards pretty well, and got to use the Vanguard skill more or less well enough, so I got win, attack 40,000 more power, drew an over trigger, did a persona right, 6 turns pass, did a superior call, retired 5 more opposing units, and drew 3 or more times in 1 turn. I got 2300 BP, total 116,975 BP, pressing A to go next, leaving the fight and returning to the fight menu.
どのファイター
Here we are in the fight menu, leaving the fight menu,
どのファイトに
returning to main menu, and to the edit deck menu.
どのデッキを見
And
る
if that, the deck's been built, Cardfight explained, I just finished testing out the deck in front of you. So first I want to say is, thank you to the viewers watching today's video, and to please stay tuned for more videos I plan to upload again in the near future. I also hope you'll show support by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my videos and channel. And with that I say, goodbye!